What is up, everybody? Luke Film Boss here, and today I am going to be reviewing Wicked Part 1. It's wicked, man! This movie is so wicked and rad, and it's actually pretty great. Like, especially from like a production standpoint, this movie is just so immersive. It's so large, it's so detailed, and it just fully immerses you into this world. Like, nothing in this movie looks like it's from our world, yet it actually was almost entirely practical. Obviously, for some of the bigger sets like the wide shots of the Emerald City, obviously I'm sure they used some CGI, although it could have been miniatures like they did in Lord of the Rings. And obviously, like for the animal characters, they used CGI. But there's a lot more practical sets and practical special effects being used here. A lot of real stunt work. There's things in this movie like the train that leads to the Emerald City. I'm like, I'm sure that's like that looks pretty good, but that's got to be CGI, right? Like they didn't no, they actually took a train and made it into that Aussian train with the green shimmering awesomeness. It's so good. Speaking of practicality, Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande actually sang on set while doing their stunts, while doing their acting. They also sang beautifully. The music in this film is absolutely fantastic. Obviously, that is the big hook. It's for the musical fans, it's a musical adaptation, but they did a really good job of being creative with little changes while adapting it from the source material and changing it up enough to fit in the movie form, something that the Mean Girls musical at the beginning of the year did not do as successfully. But Wicked totally blows it out of the park with the visuals, the music, and Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, absolutely stunning voices, but they also have really good acting range. And Ariana Grande, it's impressive. Like, I think she should just kind of quit trying to do her music career. Like, she had that stage in her life, and some of her stuff was pretty decent. But I think she should try to focus more on finding more acting roles where she can use her musical talents, but also use that raw emotion and just acting range that she clearly has. She should just stick more to that. I think she could really make a big impression as an musical actress. She really brings a heart to this movie. And there's a scene in this movie where she just kills it. It's like the turning point in Elphaba the Wicked Witch, or Elphaba who becomes the Wicked Witch, and Glinda's relationship. It's their turning point. The movie is so slow. It takes time to breathe and to really let the emotions sink in. It doesn't rush anything. The movie is 2 hours and 40 minutes long. It doesn't really feel that way to me, but it is. It's a long movie, and it takes time to let things sink in. And there, like I said, there's that one moment towards probably like the middle of the film, and it's so emotional. Ariana Grande really lets the emotions sink in, and it's a huge arc and turning point for her character and for Elphaba. And both actresses did a great job of acting. It you really feel the tension earlier on in the movie, and it's somewhat of a comedic, lighthearted tension, but it's still they're at odds, but then they slowly come together, and it's beautiful. Honestly, the story is beautiful. One thing I was worried about is that this movie would take the already diverse Wicked storyline, which I think the diversity is great, but I was afraid they were going to do too much with it. They were going to lean into it too much and over wokeify it. Obviously, there's things here and there that you're like, okay, you can see they're trying to, represent this party, and it's like, okay, yeah. But as a whole, the narrative isn't affected by it. I was afraid that they were going to go way too hard with it with the Wizard of Oz, with Jeff Goldblum's character, the wonderful Wizard Oz. I was afraid they were going to make him out to be like such an evil villain, like, oh, he's got such a patriarchal viewpoint and he's just trying to use the women, and like, no, actually, he's actually a very sentimental man. He's a very nice guy. Obviously, he he's the wizard. I think it's very in character because if you watch the original Wizard of Oz, it's not like Oz was like this great guy and he was always like the perfect like symbol of wisdom. And no, he was a guy who was trying to pull the curtain over everybody's eyes. And then when it gets exposed that he's just a normal guy, he tries to kind of like play it off. And like this movie honestly makes me like Oz more as a character than the Wizard of Oz film. Like it makes him, you know, more likable. Like not that he wasn't likable before, but like he was never a great guy, and this movie doesn't paint him as a villain. It just paints him as this pretty sweet guy, actually. It's pretty funny. I love Jeff Goldblum. He did a great job. And the movie doesn't go into this men are so evil kind of thing. It's like, no, he's a pretty chill dude. Anyway, I really loved this movie. I am excited for part 2. The poor little girl up front thought that this movie had such a sad cliffhanger ending, which it really wasn't super sad. It was a little sad. I can say that I expected where this movie was going to end, which is because it ended at the perfect spot for a part 1 and part 2. But that poor little girl is going to be so sad when she realizes that part 2 is probably going to be a lot sadder. And I'm here for it. I'm excited. Next year, this same time, Wicked Part 2, I will be there. Because part 1 was absolutely phenomenal. I'm not going to give it a score yet. Y'all will have to wait until my 2024 movie ranking list to see what I end up giving Wicked. Because I'm thinking I'm going to watch this movie again to get a better grasp on what I really thought about it. But I know that it's going to be up there. It's a great movie. Honestly, one of the best movie experiences that I've had in a while, since Dune 2. We just don't get a lot of like really high quality movies like this that make you feel like everybody involved actually did this out of love for the source material and for the story. It's wonderful. Thank you all for watching, everybody. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell to help you be on the lookout for more videos from Luke Film Boss. Bye.